Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Skagway. So if you've missed any part of this Alaska travel series, I will link that in the top somewhere up here. I've got a playlist. We've already talked about Juneau, we've talked about Ketchikan, we've talked about some other things about preparing for Alaska travel. So if you're going to Alaska this year, maybe watch this playlist before you go. But today we're going to talk about Skagway. Skagway's claim to fame hails back to the Klondike Gold Rush. In 1897, Skagway was the starting place for gold rush stampeders who headed to the Yukon goldfields by way of the Chilkoot Trail. Skagway looks like a movie set from an old western film, with wooden board sidewalks, historical buildings and facades, and even locals dressed in period costumes. Skagway is home to the White Pass Rail, the Red Onion Saloon, and several museums. Now let's talk about getting there. Skagway is one of the few spots along the Inside Passage that is accessible by road, though you will need a valid passport. The Klondike Highway crosses the United States-Canadian border into the Yukon Territory. Skagway does not have an international airport like Ketchikan or Juneau, but it can still be accessed by air via air taxi service. Most visitors to Skagway will arrive by sea either on a cruise ship or the Alaska Marine Highway. Other options include the Haines-Skagway Fast Ferry and Alaska Fjord Lines, which offer transportation between Haines and Skagway for the Haines-Skagway Fast Ferry, or Haines, Skagway, and Juneau on Alaska Fjord Lines. There are 3 cruise ship docks in Skagway, which can accommodate 4 cruise ships. Despite these docks, tendering may be required depending on which dock your ship is tied to as a result of rock slide safety concerns. The railroad dock is the dock impacted by this. Passengers of ships docked at the aft railroad dock will board a shuttle bus that will take them through the hazard zone. Passengers of ships docked at the forward railroad dock will be required to tender to shore. All cruise ship docks are within close walking distance of downtown Skagway, maybe 5 to 10 minutes walking. Some popular points of interest in Skagway include the White Pass Rail, which is an engineering marvel with a rich history ranging through the Gold Rush, World War II, and tourism. This train ride offers incredible scenic views and a narrated journey discussing the history of the railroad and points of interest along the way. For individuals whose primary language is not English, devices are available offering multilingual narration of the journey. The White Pass Rail offers round-trip travel and one-way service for hikers, and this excursion may be booked directly through the White Pass Rail or through many cruise line shore excursions. But I would be sure to book it as early as you can, as it does tend to fill up when the port is full. This can be a kind of expensive shore excursion, but I would recommend doing it at least once. Another point of interest is gold panning. You can search for flakes of the precious metal while learning about the Klondike Gold Rush. Keep what you find and then indulge in a salmon bake. Glacier tours. Helicopters will transport you to the top of a glacier where you could partake in a guided hiking tour or a dog sledding adventure atop a glacier. The Gold Rush Museum and Skagway Park Service Visitor Center. This is located in the former White Pass and Yukon Railroad Depot and is now the National Park Service Visitor Center, where visitors can enjoy movies, walking tours, and other activities during the summer. There is no admission fee, but donations are accepted. The Red Onion Saloon is a historical venue in Skagway. It was built in 1897 during the height of the gold rush, and it operated as one of the finest bordellos in town. It currently serves as a museum, saloon, and restaurant. There is a town that neighbors Skagway, but it's a ghost town. I believe it's pronounced Dyea. Dyea was Skagway's neighboring town during the Klondike Gold Rush days. Around 8,000 people lived here until a tragic avalanche, which occurred on April 3rd of 1898. Available for viewing here are the remains of a wharf, some building foundations, and a cemetery. While Skagway is a beautiful town and a stunning setting, and it is highly walkable, there are fewer options for activities here than in other places like Juneau. If you've visited Skagway before and done a guided tour, maybe you don't feel like doing the same thing again, you can always book a different tour or explore on your own. If nothing in town is to your liking, you can rent a car and drive the Klondike Highway into Yukon Territory. There are plenty of photo opportunities, and you get to set your own pace. Even better if you pack a picnic so you have some sustenance while you're exploring. You can rent an electric vehicle through Klondike Electric Bicycles, and then you can take that electric car, into the Yukon Territory. Just be sure to take your passport. Some places to eat if you're getting tired of ship food. There's Bombay Curry if you're interested in authentic Indian cuisine. Northern Lights Pizzeria offers pizza and Mexican cuisine. Skagway Fish Company boasts the best fish and chips in town. And Skagway Brewing Company, even if you don't like beer, Skagway Brewing Company has something for everyone. They have fresh greens that they grow on the premises, and local Alaskan salmon and halibut are features on the menu. Glacial Coffee House is located right downtown, and it offers coffee, smoothies, baked goods, and some lunch items. For local wine, beer, and spirits, there's Skagway Brewing Company. This is a large venue with a restaurant and a large gift shop. Klondike Brewing Company is a smaller venue located closer to the ship docks with an outdoor space and large Adirondack chairs to lounge in while you indulge. And Skagway Spirits is a small family-run distillery with a tasting room where you can sample cocktails featuring fresh Alaskan ingredients. Now for some shopping. Once again, look for the official Made in Alaska symbol, which indicates that the item has been made in Alaska by a resident artist, craftsperson, or manufacturer. Additionally, the silver hand emblem signifies that the article was handcrafted by an Alaskan native. Similar to these is the Made in Skagway program, launched by the Skagway Development Corporation in 2015 to support and promote Skagway artisans. Some shops of interest in Skagway are Yukon Heath's Popcorn Emporium. It features more than 25 flavors of gourmet popcorn. Alaska Christmas Store is a gift shop specializing in Alaskan and locally made products with a lean into Christmas. Alaska Knife and Ulu Store. These might be difficult to get back onto your cruise ship, but I'm sure there are options for that. They have a large selection of Alaska and United States made knives and ulus. Aurora Jewels is family owned and operated. It specializes in Alaskan jewelry, natural gold nuggets, and gold quartz. Corrington's Alaskan Ivory is family owned and operated since 1974. They're experts in Alaskan materials such as walrus and mammoth ivory, whalebone, baleen, and soapstone. Klondike Gift Supply is owned by the same people I talked about with the electric car, Klondike Electric Bicycles. So you can rent electric bicycles from Klondike Gift Supply, or you can visit their gift shop, which is inspired by the site's smells and creative spirits in Alaska. They offer special gifts for all occasions. There's Clothes Rush, which carries one-of-a-kind Alaska apparel and souvenirs. Skagway News Depot and Books is an independent bookstore focusing on Alaskan authors. Then, of course, there's the Train Shop, located right near the train depot, where you can find hats, shirts, and other souvenirs. Of course, this is not everything, so I'm going to leave a bunch of links in the description box, as I always do. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions for people traveling to Skagway this year, please leave all those in a comment, and, let's start the discussion about Skagway. I have been to Skagway a couple of times. I've actually spent the 4th of July in Skagway, and it was a really special celebration. Fireworks are difficult for them to do because it's still light out all the time, so it's kind of hard to see the fireworks when they set them off, but I had maybe the best 4th of July I've ever had in my entire life when I was in Skagway, and I think it was 2021. It was a marvelous experience. I think that's it for me for today, but I know, of course, this is not everything. So leave anything else that you think I missed in a comment. But I think that's all for me for today, and you guys will see me in another video really soon. Bye!